like this in the first trailer too, where it looked like they were watching like a news story on him.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, because we didn't like have all of this information about like what the Admiral telling him, like, this is no longer your house,
Right.
go home. I'm wondering now, could the news story be Picard has set things in motion to try to help Daj, and Starfleet is now after him?
Mm-hmm.
Could this be planting evidence about him, like the former famous captain is now disgraced? Like, could it's a or is it unrelated? I don't know, but like, I think the possibility exists that he could be the subject of like some gaslighting news story to sort of turn people against him.
It could be basically like a wanted poster. We don't know what it is.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
You know, we see someone cross behind the couple, and then the shot like reverses, and you can see who walked behind the couple, because you can see them in the background, and you see that it's Daj, and it's raining, and she's trying to get somewhere in a hurry. You can see. I skipped this little bit. I don't know if it's going to matter, but next to this place where they're watching this screen, you see like a sign. You see some city lights in the distance. We don't know what city it is, but on the sign it says something the future. View next year's something tech today. It looked like some of the letters were gone because it was cut off on the edge. I don't know what it was.
Could they be promoting those androids?
Right, yeah.
As like the new tool of the future.
Yeah. It sort of reminded me of like Back to the Future, kind of thing. I don't know why. But, yeah, like, is it that? Is it like they're just teasing that there's something coming up that, like they don't know that that's what it's going to be, but hey, we're going to have something great for you. So, we hear, we see that it's Daj, and we hear Picard's voice say, "I have to help." So all of this stuff goes in just a matter of seconds, but we don't know what we need to read into and what we don't. So we're really getting into this.
Mm-hmm. It's hard not to look for, deeper meanings in things, because, you want to try to get these clues for what could possibly happen. And it's fun to speculate. It's fun to look at these things and try to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Then we see an outdoor scene. Looks like Picard and a man sitting on a patio. They've got drinks in their hands. They're talking. I did not figure out who this character or actor was.
He looks very familiar to me. I think he's a character actor who's been in like everything.
I agree.
And it's certainly a possibility that he has been in an episode of TNG.
Mm-hmm.
There were people speculating in a Picard group I'm in that this is the Traveler.
Oh.
And I don't agree. I don't think that's the Traveler. Number one, it's a different actor, which, again, like, that's not concrete proof.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's the Traveler. It doesn't really make a lot of sense for me to bring him into this now.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, like, his thing was, transporting people across galaxies. Like, Picard doesn't seem to need that. This seems to be Picard having a drink with a friend.
Right, that's what it seemed like to me. Yeah. And I definitely know I've seen him somewhere before, but I couldn't place him, so it could have been on here, on a different Star Trek. It could have been who knows what. The man says to him, "You really want to go back out into the cold?" And then we cut to a shot of Picard looking out over his vineyard at dusk, and then a close-up of his chest, and he's putting his comm badge on, and it goes back to them sitting there, and Picard says, "More than ever." So, it's on.
Oh, yeah.
It's so on now. We have another fade to black. January 23rd fades onto the screen while the music is playing. So more excitement about the date. Don't want you to forget it, kind of thing. We see this rocky terrain, and we hear Picard's voice saying, "I have a plan." We see Picard walking on sort of like a flat part of this terrain. There's like the big rocks and hills around him. And what to me looked like a futuristic mobile home.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was long and skinny, had like a little porch built onto it.
It definitely looked like that. And I think when we first see Michelle Hurd's character in that first trailer, she definitely lives like kind of in the middle of nowhere, and she's choosing to live, there.
Right. Yeah, so we find out that it's her. She's Rafi Musiker, I don't know. What is with these names? No, I'm kidding. That's terrible. I mean, a lot of them aren't real, and a lot of them are made-up names, so I don't feel so bad saying it. But we heard her saying another top secret unauthorized rescue mission. And we see them sitting at a table together on her little porch, and he's just kind of looking at her like, what do you think?
I bet she drinks space Budweiser.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It's the worst beer ever.
But, she can drink a whole lot of it, and it's real cheap because, she's got to pay for things out there. So we see another, 24th century city or large facility or something. It's on a cliff at the ocean. There's some ships in the air and some larger vessels. I don't know if they would count as ships or if they would be something else. But they were cool looking. But I noticed, which this is probably nothing, but there are kind of mountains and hills on one side in the distance, and then palm trees and stuff. So it's just they use California, but also, I mean, maybe they're on Earth.
They could still be on Earth, absolutely. Again, Starfleet headquarters is in California. It's in San Francisco. So this, to me, looks quite like the Northern California coast. Mm-hmm. So this could absolutely...
And don't definitely parts north of L.A. that look like that, too, that I've been to with some of my friends. So it's that could happen.
Yeah, and, certainly, on Earth, because Earth being one, the founding member or the founding planet of the Federation, there's a lot of tech on Earth, just in general. So I mean, this could absolutely be Earth. We don't. I think we're going to spend a good amount of time on Earth in the beginning of this series. I think because that's where Picard is.
Right.
I mean, theoretically,
definitely some of his troop are. At least look human, so they might definitely be, on Earth or something similar. So we see a large room, which is inside this city or facility. It looks like maybe a lab or something, is what I thought. Is that kind of what you were thinking?
Yeah, it seems to be maybe a cybernetics lab. Yeah. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, and we see Dr. Agnes Girardi, played by Alison Pill. She's there with Picard, and she said, "This is everything that ever mattered to me." Mm-hmm. So, don't know what she's talking about, but we'll find out.
Yeah, we know that she's part of his crew, and we know that the Borg are involved. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna try to figure out something involving androids and Borg, you bring a cyberneticist with you, because those are the people who know about machinery and organic materials.
Yeah, that,
and blending them together.
Yeah, it's got to be the only type of doctor that she is. They don't need someone to just patch them up. They need someone who knows their stuff. We see another shot of her and she's wearing either a completely different outfit, or she's not wearing the white lab coat, but she's wearing like a blue jacket or top or something. And she's saying, "I'm going with you," to someone who's in the foreground, but they're kind of blurry, so we don't know if this is Picard. We can just assume this is Picard, but it could be someone else. As with everything else, we'll find out. It's like, it's like there's so many things in this that I'm like, I want to know what it is. We see some more rocky terrain. Don't know if this is the same planet or not. There's a big clearing, and it looks like there's maybe a building or a village or something that kind of has like some sort of decoration or scaffolding or something around it. At least that's what it looked like to me, because, you know, it kind of looked like bars and things, but not like, you know, prison bars.
Right.
It cuts to like this, I don't know, like town square maybe, like it's like an open place and there's people standing around, and you hear Picard's voice saying, "I need your skill and your courage." So there's a couple different people that show up while he's saying this. So this first one, I believe this is Elnor. This is Evangoria.
Yeah,
he's Romulan, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think the story is that Picard has been in his life since he was young. Very young.
And he's got very long hair and a sword. So...
he looks like a samurai to me, right? Like a samurai warrior.
Yeah, like he just looks like he's gonna chop someone in half. And I'm here for it. Then we see, as he's, you know, we still hear Picard's voice. We see a guy with like shaggy hair that's shorter, like it's not real short, but, you know, like in a goatee and stuff. And I'm pretty sure this is Chris Rios, right?
I believe that's right.
Santiago Cabrera.
Yep.
And it looks like he's sitting in a chair, and there's some lights and stuff behind him. And and at this point, before we get later, I could only imagine, the first time I saw it, that he was piloting a ship or something.
Oh yeah, I think he's absolutely piloting a ship.
Because later, it's pretty much, you know, 100% that he's piloting a ship or something. So we see a Borg cube. And then it kind of fades, and then there's a room where you can see someone laying like on a table. It's like a mortuary or like a surgery table or something. And then the camera pans over, and you see some stuff hanging, and it looks sort of machinery, but then part of it looks like it's got like maybe like fleshy stuff, like it was an arm pulled off a socket or something. So I just assumed this was like some sort of Borg facility kind of thing.
That's,
like
that's what it seems like
Borg.
to me.
It's like the Borg lab.
It looks so like bright though,
right?
Which is not what we usually think of with like the Borg stuff. So there is so there are some fan theories. I don't think this is really a spoiler, guys, but like there are some fan theories that like 7 of 9 is going around and she is liberating Borg, ex-Borg, which they certainly do imply in this trailer. I'm wondering if this could be a facility that she's working out of.
Okay.
Disassembling Borg, not disassembling, but removing Borg implants and putting people back together.
It could also have to do with the Doctor too. Possibly. I mean,
sure.
You know, maybe.
This is definitely part of the Borg storyline, though.
Yes,
whatever this is Borg.
Yeah.
Related.
Yes. We hear Picard saying, "The past is written," and then it fades to 7 of 9. She's holding a man and she's crying, like she's sobbing. We don't know who this guy is. He's got dark hair. That's really all we can tell. Don't know what her relationship was to this dude. Don't know why she's crying. Don't know what's going on. So, stay tuned. we see